You had your starters with the release of the first look trailer for Star Trek Discovery. If you're hungry for more, there is good news. We now know when you can have your main course. Welcome to the final frontier, so how much longer do you have to wait? For those in the US, DSC is set to undock with an hour-long premiere at 8:30 in the evening of Sunday, 24th of September on CBS. The first and second episodes, along with the companion aftershows, will then be available on demand on CBS All Access immediately following the premiere, with weekly episodes thereafter. Unfortunately, due to time differences, those of us watching in Netflix in the UK will have to wait until Monday. From what I've heard, that actually means 8 AM. For most, it will mean we're a full day behind every week by the time we get to watch it. Not exactly great. The 15-episode first season has also been split into 2 parts, with the first 8 episodes running from 24th of September through 5th of November. The season will then resume from January 2018, thereby allowing more time for post-production. For the eagle-eyed, you may have spotted something very tantalizing. Yes, we have our first look at the USS Discovery NCC-1031. The ship, which is now confirmed to be older than the USS Shenzhou, can be glimpsed in this animation, but we get a much clearer look from the poster. A cursory look suggests a ship similar to that seen in the original teaser from last year, but with different nacelles. We also have a very distinctive pattern on the main fuselage, which screams to me that this vessel is not a traditional Federation starship. But we haven't even got to the most interesting bit, the saucer section. At first glance, this looks like a typical Federation saucer design, but it is potentially anything but. Look at the 2 dark rings on the saucer and the lighting on the edge of the visible rings. What we're perhaps seeing here aren't dark sections without lighting, but the saucer literally has 2 circular gaps right through it, rather like a donut. Computer, enhance image to show saucer section struts. Now you can get a clearer view of the 4 struts that join the outer and inner rings. No doubt these are access corridors. What we're seeing is something we've previously seen in the Kelvin universe's USS Vengeance, which is ironic as I've previously imagined that the USS Shenzhou, with its advanced tech, is actually a Dreadnought-class ship like the Vengeance. We may even be looking at a spherical primary hull where the bridge would be, something that would be a smaller version of the Federation Daedalus-class starship, or even the Medical Olympics class starship from the TNG era. So let's now go inside and look at the Discovery's captain, Gabriel Lorca, described as a steely Federation starship captain who is considered a brilliant military tactician. Funnily enough, a description that sounds eerily similar to that of one Garth of Izar, so that rumour still doesn't want to go away despite the different names. We get a glimpse of the Discovery's bridge, but there isn't really a great deal to see. The captain's chair has a touchscreen display, so technology is certainly more advanced than what we have seen in the original series. But as this ship is older than the Shenzhou, I suspect we will see a ship that isn't as advanced. What we do get a good look at is the uniform. This is the exact same uniform and, interestingly, the same Starfleet badge as Captain Georgiou of the Shenzhou. This is confusing as they are 2 different ships and in this era should have a unique badge. Which brings us back around to the early rumours that the Shenzhou is destroyed and becomes the Discovery. But the 2 ships now look very different, and we know that the Discovery is older than the Shenzhou, so I don't think this really fits anymore. Perhaps the Shenzhou and Discovery are sister ships on the same mission, hence the reason why First Officer Michael Burnham and Lieutenant Saru eventually end up serving on the Discovery. And talking of Burnham, we had a lot of speculation on the nature of her relationship with Vulcan. Well, it has been confirmed that, as we suspected, she is not half Vulcan. Instead, she has a close relationship with Spock's parents, Sarek and Amanda, and was the first human to attend the Vulcan Learning Center as a child, and then the Vulcan Science Academy as a young woman. She will therefore go on a journey to discover what it means to be human, what it means to be a Starfleet officer, and what it means to be a hero. Finally, we get a sneak peek at this. Have a guess what this is. Yep, it's one of the Shenzhou's transporter rooms. Boy, do the designers love their gold leaf, but what on earth is going on here with the massive circular item behind them? Not even the Kelvin universe changed a transporter tech like this. I don't mind the look of what I assume are circular beam generators. To me, it looks like something that could create a particle beam and construct and deconstruct molecules. But what I don't understand is why aren't they above the person they are beaming? What happens if you have a small person or item that needed beaming that wasn't in line with the center point of the generator? What happens if Georgiou steps sideways? Would it beam Lieutenant Saru instead? It just looks far too different to the tech we've seen, something that would have been easily solved by placing them above the item being beamed. But one element I do love is a sneak peek at the very TOS style phases, and also a thumbs up to the body armor with Starfleet logo. 3 more months, I cannot wait. For more videos on all things Star Trek Discovery and science fiction, please subscribe and click the notification bell so it will actually tell you when I've uploaded. For sneak peeks of upcoming videos and a little bit of personal stuff from me, then follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Live long and prosper.